we're going, we don't need roads.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
You are a toy!
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
So what was the name of that movie called? We just watched a trailer
The one that we just watched the trailer for was Sorry to Bother You.
The telemarketer movie. Yeah, it looks alright.
I'm stoked.
It looked like you said it was written by somebody named Boots. Is that what his name
Yeah,
is?
just one name.
Boots.
Riley?
Is that the guy? Is that the artist?
Boots Riley?
I don't know.
I think that's the same guy. He's on a Run the Jewels song, but maybe not. Was it capitalized?
I didn't see it.
Everything. The font was all capital. It said like Boots Riley, I think, or something.
Oh, maybe not then.
I really like the scene where they're sitting at dinner and he falls down and like is sitting with them with his headset on and is like talking to them.
It's almost because it's like he inserted himself into the
editing looks super dope.
Yeah, it definitely, like the first 10 seconds of the trailer didn't like match how zany the rest of it. It got crazier and crazier. Well, it looks like one of those
yeah. It doesn't. It helps with the song. It's like, oh yeah, all right.
I really liked it. David Cross is that guy's white voice too.
I thought it was Patton Oswalt.
When I first watched it, I didn't even realize. I was like, "How's that guy doing that voice? This guy's really good."
So it's been a while. It's been a minute.
What do you mean? This is our first episode.
We've
never done this before.
No, BDB what?
Those will be our lost episodes for our Patreon subscribers.
The lost episodes.
So welcome to Primitive Screwheads.
Screwheads. We are a movie podcast. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, we're gonna narrow it down to just movies,
keep memes out of it because we could go for hours.
Don't even get me to troll face. Me goose
started. Conspiracy Keanu Reeves.
Screwheads. That was a visual.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, but there's a screwdriver in the room.
Yeah, focus on maybe movies we've watched in between episodes. Movies coming out. Try to keep it topical. Try to keep it topical.
I'll edit out in post. One of the things I thought would be interesting is if we maybe watched movies, not necessarily together, but it'd probably be better if we did it together, that we wouldn't necessarily give like a second thought. For the first thing that came to my head was the Matt Damon movie where he buys a zoo, where I saw the trailer and I was like, I'm not gonna. What?
We bought a zoo?
Yes.
You could remember that?
Okay. Well, I didn't remember the title was so fucking on the nose. But I remember
the full title is "This is Matt Damon here. We bought a zoo."
I'm actor Matt Damon. But I thought, like, when I first saw that trailer, I was like, there's no way I'm watching that movie.
I thought you were gonna say Downsizing at first.
No, but that's a movie that I actually want to see.
No, but what were you saying about that?
Essentially, that it might be interesting if we watched movies that originally we kind of dismissed based off of the trailer, or maybe based off of what we heard, and then maybe it's actually good. I doubt We Bought a Zoo is good. I highly doubt it.
Mr. Popper's Penguins.
And on that same note, Downsizing. I heard Downsizing was like dog shit.
Yikes.
Yeah.
What's the IMDb? I'm gonna look up the IMDb score.
I think it's like 5.9 or something.
Ooh.
I think I'm just like very
I don't watch
judgmental
anything below a 7
when it comes to movie trailers. But like, my first thought when I watched the trailer, I can't remember what movie I went to go see, but I saw the trailer. And I was like, that's kind of an interesting and fun premise. This looks like kind of a fun movie to like go with a family or something like that. But I could tell that it's not going to be groundbreaking. You know, I don't know. It's weird. It's like there are some times where you feel like you just know the movie when you see the trailer, and then other times it can go completely different. Like you see a movie trailer and you watch the movie. It's like
kind of like when I first saw the trailer for Get Out. I was like, this looks fucking. Not stupid, but it looks super underwhelming,
it did look
and then when I watched, I'm like, Oh,
Yeah.
this is smart
The
as
scene
hell.
where the guy is running directly at him, I remember I was like, this movie looks fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to watch it until I learned that it was Jordan Peele, and then I was like, okay, I actually like have a lot of faith
Well,
in
I never
Jordan
saw
Peele.
Keanu, even though I love Key and Peele. But I
Continue.
because I saw the saw the trailer for that. And I was like, oh, that's awesome that they're making a movie. But
You didn't watch it.
Did you see it?
no, I didn't.
Dog shit. The cat isn't in it.
So do you mean cat shit?
You know,
Where's my litter box, folks?
it wasn't as good as I hoped it'd be. It definitely had like funny parts in
Right.
it, but
Barely.
I
It
thought
felt
it
like a
would be-
mediocre Key and Peele skit
I was just about to
for
say,
like
it had
an
a
hour and a
charm.
half.
for
like
two
some
people
charm.
that are so funny, you would think their movie would be funnier. But
Yeah, I thought the cat would be like almost like it was almost like a Kangaroo Jack type deal.
dude,
Where you're like, oh my god, it's about a talking kangaroo, and then it's like a 10-second.
The 10-second.
I'm glad
dream
I wasn't the
sequence.
only kid that got catfished by that fucking trailer, dude. Because
As
that
a-
was the first time I felt disappointment as a
It's like
child
a
that I can
badass
remember.
Australian
Yeah, I was like,
kangaroo
this is a rapping
on the
kangaroo?
outback,
That's
and
the
then
first. That's the only. That's
like
the
a
first
30-second
and only
scene.
movie that I fell asleep during watching. I literally remember piecing out like 3/4 of the way through and woke up when people were standing up. And I remember waking up as a kid thinking like, wow.
did you have dreams of a
I-
talking kangaroo, just like the
no.
movie?
I had
Wait.
dreamed that I was seeing a different movie.
When people were standing up,
What?
did we see this movie like in theaters?
We saw it in theaters.
I
Damn.
don't remember that. I remember seeing it on like the fucking Disney Channel.
No, we saw it in theaters. It was a long time ago though. So
Worst movie you've ever
The reason-
seen?
the
You'd
reason-
paid a ticket for in theater.
Pate?
You first.
I was gonna. Well, just to. I guess wrap up my kangaroo.
Oh,
it's
sorry,
wrapped up.
sorry.
It's wrapped up. What's the worst movie?
Please
I've
don't
paid-
say Kangaroo Jack, because that movie is untouchable.
No, I was gonna say I didn't pay to see it. That's, you think I fucking? Here's my money, Mister. The worst movie that I've paid to see was probably.
I've got
like,
one.
Like worst movie, like in terms of like
Like
the
so close to
poorly
walking
received?
out.
Or like, oh, okay, so like like I watched this movie, it's like I regret seeing this fucking movie.
Well,
Um,
yeah, or just wanted to walk out, but
I hate to sound like a douchebag, but once it became my choice to see movies, I got pretty good at like being really picky.
yeah.
But I did for
Or
a while.
bad
I was
at
gonna
being
go
really
just-
picky.
I used to go just see movies with buddies just because I was like, oh, let's go see a movie. It's something to do.
Mhm.
So probably We Are the Millers was one of the first movies recently that I went and I paid to go see it, and I was like, I just didn't need to see that.
Who's the main? Is it Ed Helms?
No, it's Jason Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis. So
Jason
basically,
Sudeikis.
Oh
And
God,
might
mediocrity
as well
in a nutshell.
is-
If
I-
if
there's
Paul
parts that
Rudd
made me laugh, but it was like
if
kinda-
Paul Rudd and Jason Bateman had a C student kid together, just like, what are you gonna
C
do?
student.
What are you gonna do when you grow up? Oh, probably an accountant.
he's
Jason
married to
Sudeikis, I
Olivia
fucking,
Wilde, though.
he's so mediocre.
Jason Sudeikis.
I don't think he's funny at all. Like he's so mediocre that I don't like
I
him.
think that he's funny. I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't say that he's mediocre. My complaint with Jason Sudeikis is that he's really funny, but
He plays a
it's
straight
really-
man.
It's really grating. No, I would say that Jason Bateman is a professional straight man.
He does it correctly, where he's
But-
like a little,
But Jason Sudeikis
looks at the camera.
Jason
oh.
Sudeikis is a
John
fucking-
Krasinski
Like
from The
I'm the
Office.
sarcastic guy that makes cutting remarks, but it's
Yeah.
still funny though. Like it's like I know how to say it without it like hurting your feelings, and it's just like.
He's
I
just-
think that
yeah.
Jason Sudeikis is really funny to watch, but I feel like being Jason Sudeikis' friend would get really tiring.
So, what have you been up to? Oh, eating white bread. Oh, cool.
What do you think, pal? Oof, Jason. You got feisty after SNL.
We are the mill. Yeah, that looked. I don't even remember. I'm thinking of the Meet the Neighbors or
I
the
regretted
Zach
seeing it in
Galifianakis one.
theaters. And there probably is a worse movie, and
Keeping Up with
that's
the Joneses.
Not the best answer, but that's the one that first came to my mind. That's like
One that
I was
almost pisses you
I
off.
was mentally aware of like probably the first 5 minutes in. I was like, I really did not need to pay to see this.
Yeah. What about you?
Sorry, go ahead.
Would definitely be the Carrie, the remake of the original Stephen King movie with Chloe Grace Moretz.
Ooh.
Yeah, I paid money to go see that.
Ooh.
I didn't even think it would be that good when I went to go see it.
Oh yeah. No,
We saw that together, didn't we?
Did we? I knew I saw it with someone, but I
Yeah.
honestly didn't remember
I
who was there.
remember
with me.
seeing. That's a
wait.
good
Chloe
answer,
Grace
too.
Moretz was the main. She played Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was in a she was in two unnecessary horror remakes, Let Me In and Carrie, and they're both mediocre. I've heard. Let Me In is the American remake.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like, I mean, tons of movies.
Oh,
will
the
do
vampire
American
movie.
remakes.
Yeah, I actually saw that one too. I was like,
I love the original, Let the Right One In.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like fucking metal.
It's
Like
good.
it's like a metal kid love story.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh,
a good-
literally 2 years later, I think they remade it with It's like, why?
Yeah, she's in a
That's
lot
so
of bad
unoriginal.
movies. Yeah, that was the only movie that I ever like almost walked out of, but at that point I was like, I might as well finish it, and I did. And I was like, that movie was not good.
I can't really think of one off the top of my head,
Yeah.
but recently was probably Mother, and I went to see it by myself, bawling. And the best part about it was the reactions from everyone in the audience, because
Yeah.
it was all like a bunch of like, I talked about it in the last. I mean, this
Which
is the
one?
first. I don't know.
This is the first
I had a dream we casted about it, but it was so on the nose and lame,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it just took too long and was way too graphic at the end. And
Have you ever walked out of a movie? Have you ever actually walked out?
yeah, but not because of the quality of the movie.
Because you had to pee.
Oh, yeah, I came back.
All right, that's it, folks. No, went to see a movie recently with a buddy who was a little too tipsy, a little too wacky, a little too.
I gotcha.
So, and the lady next to us was like, he got up. I went with two people. He got up like 3 times in the first half hour to take a call, go to the bathroom.
Your friend did?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Gonna remain
Name drop?
nameless.
Yeah.
And then my friend, who hadn't done anything, he had to go to the bathroom, and so he got up once, and the lady next to us was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?
the
I'm gonna get the manager." And it was his first time getting up. It was just my other friend who kept.
Yeah.
But we came in as a group, and I was just like, let's just. So we got our tickets back, and it's
What
like, let's
movie was it?
the new Star Wars. Yeah.
You saw it again?
Yeah. I'm a nerd, guys. All right.
I haven't
That's
even
actually
seen
one
it
of my
yet.
bullet points. I wanted to talk about The Last Jedi. This is a good time to segue.
I wanted to talk about how fucking nerdy our friend Tanner is.
Well, I just wanted to bring up how, like, when we watched it, I felt like I enjoyed it. And there
Yeah.
were maybe some parts where I was, like, not crazy about, but it totally got, like, decimated online. It got really bad shit on.
Nothing is worse than Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't, like, every discussion on the internet about it, like, devolved into this weird, almost like Republicans and liberals now, where it's like, there's no discussion. It's just, and that brings me to Trump. No, just kidding.
Don't even get me
But there's no, like, discussion. It's just, like,
Yeah.
bunch of
Yeah.
low-level talking points.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think you're
I
right.
liked it.
I think that once someone decides on how they felt about it, I think the point of a discussion is to let other people's ideas influence yours and to hear what they have to say. But I think once they've decided, like, that movie's dog shit, anytime, well, maybe you didn't like this or this or this. No, dog shit, that was dog shit, fuck you, it's dog shit, you're dog shit. Anyone who thinks it was good, dog shit.
I will say, though, in that same vein, Solo.
Weren't
Doesn't
too
look
stoked
great.
on the trailer.
Did you see the trailer?
You know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
looked like a Childish Gambino music video.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it because of Donald Glover.
Oh, yeah, he's the best part of it.
Like that's.
I can already
If
tell.
Donald Glover wasn't in it, I wouldn't see it.
Chewbacca. Gotta love Chewbacca because you can't really fuck that up. I mean, you can, but the Han Solo guy just doesn't look anything like.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I don't know. And
he's a good actor, but you're right. He doesn't look anything.
and the big final set piece in the trailer where there's a giant tentacle, it doesn't need to. It didn't need to happen, and people are gonna hate it. And
Yeah, it does.
it'll be a Netflixer.
I don't know. It does kind of feel like are they making this movie because they know it will sell well, or are they making this movie because they feel like they have a story that they really want to tell? And
The first one.
Yeah, I mean it's Disney, so I feel like
Yeah.
What do you think the Star Wars story movie after the 9th one will be about? I feel like maybe they already have it figured out.
Aren't the Game of Thrones showrunners gonna be continuing Star Wars?
Oh yeah, like
Or
a
they're gonna
live
do, like-
action. The showrunners, I think they're making
Yeah.
a TV show.
They're making a Star Wars
Or-
TV show.
I think so. I think it's a live action Star Wars TV show.
Are they
But-
doing another?
I'll just you
Like
guys
a
you guys
cartoon?
talk to each other real quick. I'll Google that real quick.
Well,
that
I
we
hope
don't
so
fucking
because they
surmise.
were originally going to make like a slave drama, like early America slave drama, and I'm like, I don't want.
Where's the lightsaber?
Where's the dragons? Where's Khaleesi? But yeah, I think they'll do a decent job. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I see the Civil War popping up when I Google their names.
These are the people that. Who are we talking about right now? Sorry, I didn't.
D.B. Weiss and David Benioff.
Oh.
The Game of Thrones guys.
The showrunners for Game of Thrones.
I wish it. It doesn't feel like it's close to being over, but it is, isn't it?
Oh, Game of Thrones.
Right,
Yeah.
and produce a new series of Star Wars films.
It feels like it's moving too
Oh,
quickly.
they're making movies. That's crazy.
then
I thought Ryan Johnson was making his own trilogy.
He might.
Fuck.
They were.
Ooh,
they were developing
overdosing
another
on-
series for HBO called Confederate.
I'm overdosing on kyber crystals, folks.
I kind of. There
Meth.
was somebody on Reddit that said that he wasn't excited for it because they were going to.
Who, the guy on Reddit isn't excited?
This one particular
Oh.
No, what was his username?
username.
Sorry, I thought you were
I
talking
don't
about.
know, Leaf Green. But he was like, I wouldn't get too excited because they're writing it, and he was just basically talking about like similar arguments that people have been talking about Game of Thrones, where after they went off book, it's like the dialogue tanked because
They're not super great
they're not the
storytellers. They're more
best.
adapters.
They're like not the best. Yeah,
With
storytellers, I guess.
original-
like in their
yeah.
dialogue is just kind of. It seemed like they took the rest, like the previous seasons, put it into a blender, mixed it up, and then just like had to siphon through that to make new dialogue. They were like,
Are you talking
we
about
have to-
Game of Thrones right now?
the newer seasons? Yeah.
Okay.
Post.
Now, when they were off
yeah,
book,
when they're off book.
Yeah.
it felt like my biggest problem with season 7 was the time, not the timeline. It just needed, if it had 10 episodes and had some slower parts, it would be just as good. Like season 6 was probably my favorite season.
The pacing, I think, is not the best because they just seem like they're going so quick.
And I was with them until fucking Gendry spanned the entire length of the continent in like half an episode.
yeah.
Right.
when they're
I was like, whoa, that's a little too much.
And then when he gets there, he just like falls over. He's like, man, that was a long run.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
so
literally
tired.
running. After like the entire 2 episodes, they were hiking and like one-liners back and forth, and then I need you to run to blah blah blah.
To
Okay.
be fair, that's probably based on the marathon runners from no, like
Oh.
back in the day.
Like Usain?
Back in the day when they
I thought you were making a joke.
before they were using animals for transportation, you would have people that literally would run very long distances to hand over messages.
Oh,
And they
Like,
would pretty much do it with
the mailman from
they would
Link-
run
Legend of
straight,
Zelda.
like as long as they could, and then they would basically like relay it, give
And then pass out and die.
some people would
fun
die.
fact, everyone. Humans have the highest. Fuck, I'm gonna fuck this up.
No endurance. I've heard this too.
Yeah, cardiorespiratory endurance.
We have the best endurance in terms when it comes to things like marathon running. We
Not me, man.
we could.
Have you
we
been to
can't
the
outrun
Walmart?
A lot of animals in terms of speed, like we can't out sprint them.
Right, but we can track them down.
We can track them down. We can
tire them out.
That's like one of the things that we used to use as a hunting method is basically just like wait till the animal gets tired. It's
That's
like,
so
as long as
fucking
you,
metal.
As long as you keep them in your vision and you keep going, and even a horse would be like, I can't fucking run anymore, dude. And then they would just peace out. I'm like, okay, well now we got a horse. And that's your history lesson, for you guys.
Welcome back, guys. This is, of course, the hunting / movie podcast.
We're your history professionals.
Um,
Historians, some would say.
So on this episode, we're gonna the movie, which I don't think we should get to yet. 'Cause
No,
I want to
let's
do.
not-
I definitely want to do spoilers at the very end.
Let's not bust our nuts.
But
soon.
I want to. Too late. is Annihilation. Fucking dope movie. Favorite movie of the year so far. Have you seen? Speaking of movies of the year, have you seen Black Panther yet, Gabe?
Nope.
It's.
Why are you racist?
Yep.
You heard it here first. Whatever.
Been saying that for years.
There's not really. It's a Marvel movie, so I don't think he's too.
It's
You can go ahead.
It's a total date night movie. It's one of the better Marvel movies. I don't know why. Oh, well, I guess I know why people are losing their shit.
I think it's mostly just that it's a big deal for such a huge budget movie to have like a black superhero lead.
Yeah, I mean it is cool to have to get, I guess, you know.
Not only black superhero
Blade.
lead, but an African, like almost.
Is he actually from Africa?
Oh no, I'm not talking about the actor.
Oh.
I don't know, but his name is Chadwick Boseman.
Oh,
which sounds hilarious.
Sounds
the
like
whitest
English.
Sounds like a white name generator. The first name that pops up. My name is.
Chad is a place in Africa. That's a true fact.
Same with Jordan.
Also hitting you with the geography.
Yeah. Thanks for slowing it down. No, but like Chadwick Boseman, the third.
Chadwick. That sounds like a. when we get to the point where all the Chads have made their mark on the world and they start naming their distinguished children.
Chadwick. Chadwick.
Yeah, you know that guy's 40 years old.
Really?
Or I think he's like almost like 40. I think he's like 43 or something. But he looks.
He looks great.
He looks amazing. I mean, what?
He looks so good in that suit.
Although I will say, one of my bigger complaints was that it wasn't really. One was the CGI. Something I wanted to bring up when we talk about Annihilation. How much better the CGI in Annihilation looked compared to Black Panther.
Yeah.
And the fucking budget for Annihilation was a fraction.
Yeah.
And it looks so amazing. There's some directors who know how to work with CGI.
Yeah.
And some that don't. Like Ryan Coogler, the guy who directed Black Panther, he did Fruitvale Station, which was good, and Creed, which was dope as fuck.
Both Michael B. Jordan movies.
Oh yeah.
And he's in Black Panther, right?
Yeah, and he kills it in Black Panther.
Is he like the bad guy?
Yeah. Killmonger.
Well, what is a bad guy? You know?
It's the fucking Disney formula, I'm sure.
Are you
where
asking,
it's like,
is he the
in first
antagonist?
movie, hey, guess what? So this is the first in the series. So this is your hero, and the bad guy is the bad version of your hero. Iron Man had fucking
literally, yeah.
Had Obadiah Stane, who became bad Iron Man.
Holy shit!
Fucking
Obadiah
Ant-Man
Stane.
had bad Ant. You know, I'm B-Man.
I'm Anteater.
And it's just like they're like
beware my snout.
The first villain is just gonna be. So was he just like White Panther? What was he doing?
No, yeah, it was the same thing.
Panther.
There was even a part in the movie where he's like looking at new suits because his sister's like the genius of Wakanda, which is the African society that Black Panther's like the king of.
Yeah.
And he's looking at the suits, and
T'Challa.
and one is got gold spikes, and the other one has silver, and he's like, I like the silver one. I almost did a really bad accent. Thank God I didn't. I stopped myself. That's restraint, folks.
Yeah, you kind of just did a Forrest Whitaker instead.
Forrest Whitaker's in that movie, dude. I fucking don't like Forrest Whitaker.
He sucks.
Every time I see him, I'm like, who continues to cast Forrest Whitaker?
I really wish he was the last king of Scotland.
Every time I see a movie with Forrest Whitaker, I can't help myself but to emit an audible like I was watching Arrival.
Someone hit him and straightened out his eyes.
Arrival?
Yeah, I was watching Arrival. I was like, this movie is dope so far. And then
Forrest
in walks
Whitaker's the
Forrest
alien.
Whitaker.
Why do you look so weird?
His head is the big ship. Remember me? I'm in Star Wars now.
I felt like his character. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt your Forrest Whitaker train of thought. But every time you see him in a movie, when you saw him in Arrival,
Yeah, no, I'm
More-
just saying.
less
It's
than
just,
stoked.
there's just like a, you know.
Yeah, he's kind of pulling the Anthony Hopkins
He's
shit
so
where
bland.
he's just
Anthony Hopkins is compelling.
Is he?
Forrest Whitaker Go back and watch the Thor movies and watch Anthony Hopkins. Even
Oh
in
yeah,
that
he's Odin, right?
Yeah, oh, that's literally
In
the
that
exact movie I
boring
was
movie.
thinking of with how boring he was in it.
watch him. Watch like
I was listening to someone talk about it, and he just does the little quirks, and that's like his acting.
Who,
Anthony,
Hopkins.
he does like the little tiny.
that's funny.
Huh?
That's actually just his dementia. He's like, wait, am I acting right now? Or am I
He's
actually Odin?
Odin.
I felt like
He's
Forrest
stripping
Whitaker's character in Black Panther felt so similar to his character in like The Last Jedi. I feel like he only knows how to play like one character, which is like wise old guy
Wise old martyr.
that limps.
Yeah,
He has a real limp.
that's
He's
his
incorporated
eye,
into it.
Evan. Really?
Wait, does he actually have a limp?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
He
I
has
don't
a
like
fucked
him.
up eye.
I wouldn't say that he's bad. I just think that he's boring. And every time I see Forrest
Shit.
Whitaker,
What was I saying? Oh, the
someone else could've done it.
the Ryan Coogler. He's a good director. He tells a decent story, which is probably the best part of Black Panther. This is the director of Black Panther and Creed. But he doesn't know how to make CGI look good, and I don't know if that's Marvel. Like,
Probably Marvel.
do you remember the final battle when it's not a spoiler? When like
I don't care.
giant animals come into
Yeah.
the fray,
And I had actually heard people talk about that before.
The guy
so I
from-
was kind of waiting for it.
the guy from Get Out is riding a like, rhino or something, and you're just like, he looks like fucking like a prequel movie, or the Star Wars prequel movies where they're riding a fucking iguana.
Right.
It just looks dumb.
The first thing I thought of when I thought of someone that's riding a rhino, I thought of
Ace Ventura, me too.
no, I thought of fucking. I thought of Donkey Kong Country on the SNES where you get to ride the rhinos, and I was like, I probably shouldn't compare a black actor to Donkey Kong.
Ooh, it wasn't weird till you said that.
Oh yeah, seriously.
Well, I'm explaining the train of thought why I didn't make the reference. So I'm okay. 3 white guys and we don't mess up. We're all good citizens and we're not racist. That's our intro song.
Funny enough, the CGI in Donkey Kong looked better than,
And it was directed by Ryan Coogler.
but it was just the director of Annihilation did his first. I don't know if it was his first movie, but his first big movie was Ex Machina.
Right.
And that won, or
I
I
like
think
that
it won, Best Special Effects. And
Yeah.
that's his first movie.
I think
Because
so.
she's putting on the
Right.
stockings and
His
she looks
first
all see-through and
credited
shit.
movie.
Okay.
His first movie technically was I forgot.
like a student film or
No, it's a movie that
uncredited.
he actually was uncredited for. He did like
why is that allowed to happen?
Doesn't count. He fucked
I'll
up.
look it up.
Was it Citizen Kane, right?
No, it's
Oh, the French champagne.
I think I would agree that the CGI is easily the worst part of Black Panther.
I just think that like the Marvel division of Disney, they just have these giant ideas and then they like just throw so much CGI into it that it's like just too much to process.
Or they throw so much money at the CGI. It's like, make it look better. Throw more money. It's like that.
doesn't
You
necessarily
need there's
mean-
techniques. You can't just
Yeah.
make everything on a computer because no matter how much detail you put into shit, it's still like the final battle between Black Panther and Killmonger. They're like literally fighting in a CGI background, like the blue with a CGI train, and they're wearing CGI suits.
Maybe that's it. Is it? There's.
It looks like a video game.
There's got to be a balance between practical effects and CGI, and I think movies that rely too heavily on the CGI without adding any kind of practical effects is noticeable.
So Alex Garland, the one I was talking about, the movie that he did a lot
Who?
of directing.
Oh,
Alex
the-
Garland he's the director writer of Ex Machina
And Annihilation.
He directed Annihilation.
Who?
Jeff Garland from the Goldbergs.
He directed a lot of the new Judge Dredd movie with Carl Urban.
Oh.
Oh.
He's completely uncredited.
Why?
He also
I like Dredd a lot.
Yeah, I liked it.
That shit was cool. I literally
He
almost said
wrote the
metal for the third time this
screenplay.
podcast.
He wrote the
Fucking-
screenplay for the movie Sunshine.
Oh,
He
wow.
was an executive producer for 28 Weeks Later.
Ooh, he's been in the business
Is
for
he
a while,
British?
I actually
No, 28 Weeks Later. That was the American one. Never mind.
Ex Machina was his directorial debut, technically, but if you read, he did a lot of work on
the
Dredd.
budget. Could you look up the budget real quick?
For Dredd?
For Ex Machina.
For Ex Machina?
Because that one, I mean, that got nominated for best special. I think it won actually.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And
I
it's
don't
just
know what
it's
it would have been up against.
It's crazy, and it totally shows in Annihilation, even with those big CGI moments.
Yeah.
No spoilers, folks.
There wasn't really any moments in Annihilation that I got taken out of it because of the quality of the CGI. Where I feel like when I watched Black Panther, I was kind of like, oh.
Looks like the budget for Ex Machina was $15 million estimated.
Holy shit! And then Black Panther was like 200 million or something.
I was gonna say, I'm sure it's giant.
It just passed 1 billion in the box office.
So much
1
money,
billion?
dude.
1
Disney-
billion. Did you guys see that video of
making so much fucking money.
the African the theater in Africa? Like after the movie aired, there was like a huge dance circle, and they were like, it was like a party. I was like, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, 200 million.
Like finally they get a big budget movie that's literally set and centered around Africa and African characters.
That is nice.
Even though I don't think any of the actors.
Place in Africa.
Right. Yeah, they don't want to go to the real places. Oh, look at that antelope.
Look at that line.
Boo. Yeah.
What was the budget for Annihilation? Since you're just Googling stuff.
I guess, yeah.
You're a Google guy.
This is Gabe. I'm the techie.
I'm the guy on the side. I always got a Google answer for you.
You like that guy in the behind? Never mind.
Budget for Annihilation.
It's gonna make a Kim Possible reference. Fuck me.
Wait.
What's your sitch, Gabe?
40 million.
Huh?
40 million.
Yeah,
Holy
40 compared to
shit.
200.
And there was a lot of
something went
CGI
wrong
in
there.
that.
But they were smarter with their CGI.
That's what I'm saying
And
with
I
the
think a lot of their
directing.
stuff was kind of stationary. I mean, there was obviously the big part that was
Right.
dynamic, but a lot of their stuff I feel like was it was painting a backdrop. But
Yeah.
I think that when you have, for both Ex Machina and Annihilation, the biggest storytelling elements, the biggest part of the stories is reliant on CGI, and I think that that's the difference between like Black Panther, where it's like we're telling a story about a superhero,
Right.
and it's like the parts that are like super CGI, that's not like the most important part of the story. Like
Right.
without the CGI in Annihilation or Ex Machina, the
Right.
story falls apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They could have maybe done Ex Machina, but the shit that they did do with it looked so fucking cool. Like the faces and the body
They could have
parts.
gotten away with not doing it,
loved
but
Ex
I think that
Machina.
for kind of the modern audience,
I'm
where
about
we
to tear
are,
up this
where-
dance floor.
where everybody's like so tech savvy, I feel like it did kind
Right.
of help sell the movie a little bit more because it made it feel realistic, you know.
This brings us to our next segment. Memes and movies. How do we feel when we watch Black Panther and she screams, "What are those?" when she sees his sandals? You think I'm joking? That's a scene from Black Panther. His sister sees
don't-
his sandals and goes, "What are those?"
I don't
And
get
was
the
like,
meme.
His sister did a Keemstar.
Keemstar didn't invent that
I don't
meme.
know the meme.
You don't know the "What are those" meme?
No.
I think it's from Vine.
I didn't know where it was originally from. I thought it was.
Wait, are you talking about the? Wow, Daniel, your shoes.
It's like that same kind of joke, but it's a
It's
different
just
joke.
like
Oh.
when you see,
Wow,
you see
Daniel,
like
your
nice
shoes.
shoes.
Oh my gosh, Daniel, the sneakers.
I forgot how that meme went.
Damn, Daniel.
Oh yeah. Damn, Daniel.
Those are-
Damn, T'Challa.
I don't like when
Alright.
people put stuff like that in movies, and I don't think stuff like that ages well. Like someone that's gonna watch Black Panther.
I
10 years
just
from
don't
now
think
is
they'll
like,
notice
Excuse
it.
me, but I think that that's
Yes.
Marvel and Disney telling me that they understand and get my generation,
Yes.
and B can accurately and deftly, might I add, portray
Yes.
something from.
That's true. The other day I was hanging out with my friend, also millennial,
Correct.
and the first thing he said when he saw me was, "Damn, Daniel, what are those?" And he said, "I know Dewey," which is also another great millennial meme.
He said them all in a row.
Yeah,
And he then had a seizure.
Didn't even
Down to
break
big,
a sweat.
a big plate of Tide Pods.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think instead of it not aging well, I think people are just not going to get it. Because I didn't get it. I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know that meme.
So I guess
think
the
that's
original
true.
"What are those" meme, if you will,
Now we're getting into meme
was
history, my favorite
a
segment.
video
on the cast.
clip where a man loudly asked a police officer, "What are those?" while panning to his black work boots. and so from there people just parodied it like doing like
Yeah.
their own.
Damn, that's
shoots,
hilarious.
their own shoots. You had to be there, I guess, Tanner. I mean, I could watch it, but that would be just
No, let's.
audio
Will you
garbage.
press play and put it up to your headset?
Yeah, seriously.
So that we can hear it.
All right, we're 35 minutes in. Do we want to slip into our next? Do you have something else?
I
or-
just had one more thing that we hadn't touched on yet.
I've got something, but I kind of want to save it for next time we do this.
Sure.
Episode 2.
The
Sorry, viewers.
have you
Sorry, listeners.
tune in next time. That's a little bit. That's what we call a cliffhanger.
That'll
That's
be
a
for our
bait
patrons.
and hook. So, did you hear that Sam Raimi was in talks to direct the King Killers Chronicles movie?
Ooh, like how far along the talks?
Well, he hasn't been like chosen
I mean,
yet,
he's like
but
the one. Yeah, he's just kind of like the. I guess
He's in the
one of the
tops.
first people.
What
that
was the
they-
last movie he did?
The Great and Powerful
Oz,
Oz.
the
I
Great
want to
and
say.
Powerful.
Or Oz the Great and Powerful.
Ooh.
Speaking of shitty
Yikes.
CGI, went in that movie with 0 to no expectations
Well, I guess
and was still disappointed.
Technically, he's doing like. Is he doing the Ash versus the Evil Dead stuff?
I don't think he is.
He's probably producing it.
Probably producing.
Yeah,
it,
I think he's producing it.
Is that show good? It kind of looked fun. I
haven't
mean,
seen
Bruce
it.
Campbell's
It's on
always
Netflix.
good.
I'm actually excited to watch it.
My sister said it was pretty campy, and I was like,
Call back.
"That's the point."
Call back to
That's
the
what I like.
name of the cast. Little Bruce Campbell.
Yes, which is one of the things I wanted, because like I love Sam Raimi, I love the Evil Dead movies. I don't know that his style is necessarily like a good fit for that kind of fantasy setting.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I'd be really
Who would your pick
picky.
be?
I was
That's
gonna
the
say
thing.
that
I think me and
next thing
Gabe
I would ask.
had this conversation like when we first found out about this. I don't remember if I settled on anyone that I felt like would be a good answer, but
Well, our dad actually proposed, who's also a fan of the books, he proposed Steven Spielberg as just kind of like, because Spielberg's just kind of like
Solid.
I'm really like I make really good blockbusters, but
yeah.
his tone, I guess you could say, is just good. Like he doesn't have like you could be watching a Spielberg movie, I feel like, and you could not know that it's Spielberg.
Right. He doesn't necessarily
He
have
doesn't
like
necessarily
his
have
own
a style. Yeah.
That's a good.
The thing with him though is he either makes blockbusters or he makes really fucking boring true stories of dead people. Like, oh, I just got the Steelbook of Lincoln. You guys bring your fucking nightcaps.
You didn't like Lincoln?
I know, I never watched it. I don't give a shit. Who cares? It's fucking spoilers. He gets shot at a theater. Oh.
That's his whole life, by the way. If you're listeing, this you heard it here first. Abraham Lincoln's
That was the only
biggest
thing he-
accomplishment was getting shot in a fucking theater.
Abe Lincoln.
He can only get
score. Freed slaves shot in a theater. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I guess that a movie is going to happen, and I think they're also thinking about making a TV show for Showtime. But I feel like I don't know if it's easy to do fantasy. I mean, I know it's not easy to do fantasy movies like that, but I feel like a fantasy TV show would probably be better. Like the Showtime show, I think is probably the better option because it's hard to fit a book that's almost like 1,000 pages long into one movie, especially when the story's not finished yet.
What about Guillermo del Toro
What about him?
for King Killer Chronicles?
Ooh, I'd be.
Also,
I love
very
Guillermo del Toro,
stylized director, but I would be interested to see where he goes with it.
He does. He
I'd
Because
be
did.
the
down.
beasts, the beasts in that would look dope.
dude. Yeah.
Or maybe
like in,
use him as like a
Pan's Labyrinth.
visual director,
Yeah.
or whatever. Is that like a whatever the segment of the crew that does the visual and concept shit, and then someone who can like maybe who did maybe Ridley Scott,
Ridley Scott. Yeah, I think
because he
Ridley
can
Scott
make
could probably do it.
like the setting look really cool, like Gladiator. That's kind of the same time setting as not like obviously they didn't take place at the same time, but that's the same medieval shit.
Yeah. It's not that I don't have faith in Sam Raimi because he did make Spider-Man 1 and 2, but he also made Spider-Man 3. So
I've heard a lot of behind the scenes shit about Spider-Man 3, and a lot of it he wasn't happy with, and he didn't want to make it or something, but I mean,
they do have the author Patrick Rothfuss as a creative producer, and I think like they have like
they'd have to.
yeah, I think he's gonna have a lot of input on it. So I guess we'll see. I don't know.
Lin-Manuel Miranda was in talks. To
I
be, like,
did
the,
read that as well. To do like the music.
The music, yeah, I think that's solid. Because Lin-Manuel
Who's that?
Miranda, he's the guy from Hamilton. He's the guy that did Hamilton. He also wrote.
Oh,
the- I
that
think-
thing
I'm
that
pretty sure he
people are
wrote-
losing their shit about.
Yeah, I think he also wrote the music for Moana. I want to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Damn.
interesting.
He's
Yeah.
getting fucking. He's getting
Or
huge.
Moana. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, you
Mona.
Do I just-
absolute insult
Do
to
I
the
just
Hawaiian
gain a
people.
foot in height and 300 pounds of muscle and just say it like The Rock? Was that the only way to say it?
Mona. I think it's pronounced Mono.
Mona.
Mono.
It's Melakaliki Maka.
On the topic of CGI,
Ukaleka Kiki. Come on, you
How
want to
do
lay
you-
me?
based
Pass the
off
poi
of-
mahalo. Shagunga, shagunga. Okay, what?
we should just that should be just the whole
I was
hour.
just watching clips of Wayne's World. but from the SNL skit.
Oh, God.
On the topic of CGI, what do you think about? You watched the trailer for Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Just kind of underwhelming. I feel like.
I mean, it'll be entertaining. I'll watch it. It'll be cool to get all the references and the
Like
action looks cool.
It's the better version of like Pixels. It's like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like what, it's like a grown up Pixels.
Yeah, or like like not serious, but like a seriously made Pixels.
Yeah, it's almost like somebody brought up a vague concept in a room where the guy who wrote Ready Player One and Adam Sandler were both in that room and they both heard it.
Yeah, it looks fine. It'll be entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably go see it, but
I don't think I'm gonna see it in the
pretty
theater.
low expectations.
Every Overwatch character that pops up, look,
Tracer.
Widowmaker, flame by flame on Widowmaker.
Iron Giant.
Yeah, they're really pushing the Iron Giant shit.
Yeah.
We get it.
Who produced the movie?
Me
What's
go.
the studio?
You stay.
I don't know. I think
See,
Steven
like-
Spielberg's making it, but I don't know who produced
Steven
it.
Spielberg's directing it. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's probably producing it too.
probably. He's got that Spielberg money.
Oh no, Weinstein brothers are.
No way.
Never again.
No, I'm joking.
Oh, I was like,
I did watch Hateful Eight like a couple months or like a month and a half ago.
is it? And is that?
Woo! All of his movies, I forget. All of his movies start with. Sorry, that's a little bit of
All of
Big W.
Tarantino's movies are.
big yellow. Harvey and Bob Weinstein at the
Whoa.
beginning of every Tarantino movie.
What do you
'Cause
think he's? Do you think he's gonna find a new production company, or do you think?
He doesn't need to find one. He's Tarantino.
Yeah,
he's
I
reached
mean,
Spielberg, Scorsese levels.
Anybody will produce him. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like with
He can honestly probably produce his own shit too.
yeah. He looks like fucking the Bill from Kill Bill now.
yeah.
He like
That's a little scary.
like gray hair and he like
Tarantino does?
combs it back and it's long and he looks cool. I mean, he's always looked fucking weird.
Yeah.
Did you read the
Shit.
article of Uma Thurman talking about on the set of Kill Bill?
Yeah, it was kind of sad.
Yeah.
I like Uma Thurman.
You didn't read that?
No, go ahead.
Essentially, so she was assaulted by Harvey Weinstein, and she brought it up with Quentin Tarantino, and Quentin's like, "What the fuck?" And he talked to Harvey about it, and after that, she felt like she was treated more poorly on set, like the scene where she's getting choked out with the chain, like that was actually Quentin Tarantino like choking her, and I don't know. I guess she just said that she just felt kind of like unsafe. And
There was a really
scene-
sketch.
Are
Yeah,
you gonna talk about the car?
yeah.
Yeah, there's footage of it. There was a scene where they wanted her to drive this stunt car, this really old
Yeah.
shitty stunt car. Do you know the scene where she's driving and she's got the wind in her hair and she's the palm trees? I think she's on her
I'm
way to talk to
gonna
that.
kill Bill.
Yeah.
He said it.
Well, in that scene, she's driving down this road and she's like, I don't want to do it. And they're like, no, listen, it's a straight road. The car's fine. We tested it. You only need to, you can just go slow. And she was like, I really, really don't want to do it. And Quentin was like, you're gonna fucking do it. Basically, like, we're making this movie. You're gonna do it. And she was like, all right. And it was not a straight road. It was like a winding road. And she's like has to go a certain speed, he says, so that her hair looks right.
Right.
And the car fucking handles like ass, of course.
Yeah.
And she loses control and slams into a tree. And there's footage of it. And I guess she's still like got like really bad neck pain and stuff from that incident. But
It's fucked up. And when you think about it, that scene happens in I think volume 1 or 2, it looks way better with the cheesy background.
I was gonna say, yeah, when they, was just about to say that I remember it being like an ode to like silent films where it's like, yeah, you have that the backdrop that's like repeating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a whole article about it. I mean, it's worth reading. It sucks. I feel bad for her, and
I like Uma Thurman a lot.
I do too, and it's shitty that
celeb crush number 4.
who's number 1, 2, and 3.
Hear that, Uma? You made the list, and you're in the top 5.
You're lucky, babe. But
no, I don't know. I don't have a list. All right, moving on.
Anyways, let's
jump in.
Yeah, we already talked
Let's
about
jump
Black
into
Panther. Let's talk about
the Shimmer.
Annihilation, the fucking mind fuck that movie was. There's like 3 points in that movie where I audibly said, "What the fuck?"
Dude, the last half, not getting into spoilers, last 5 minutes or like 20 minutes, I looked at you like 10 times.
Yeah.
Like, am I tripping balls, dude? What'd you put in that OJ?
I that's a reference to I snuck in a small container of orange juice.
Oh, I'm reporting you right now.
Fucking keyword snuck. Like it was a goddamn fucking Unabomber.
I pulled up my my sock. Really? I pulled up my pant leg too. It was like, is he about to shoot up this theater?
It's like, damn. Give me some of that. And then no vodka, no anything. Oh, cool.
Just vitamins. Just that good OJ.
Gingers get high off of vitamin D. Folks.
That was a joke. Anyone listening, I don't actually have red hair. I have normal colored.
Don't be ashamed, Evan.
Just brown hair. Anyways, what were you saying?
I was gonna say it's not in a good way. It's not what I expected it to be. Like, seeing the trailer for Annihilation, I was like, okay,
like
kind of neat. They're just gonna go into like a weird looking place, but the movie was a lot more. It was a lot more complex than that, you know.
Right.
The center, I feel like almost the center of the movie, in a way,
was a lighthouse, folks.
In a way, it's the Shimmer, but in like there's also like so much other shit going on. I don't know. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good, and the CGI was good.
You almost can't talk about too much of it without spoiling it.
We should talk about. We should do non-spoilers, and then we should do like all right, earmuffs, everyone.
Yeah, the spoiler segment's gonna be way longer than
non-spoilers. I think that pretty much everybody in the movie did a really solid job acting-wise.
Yeah.
And
Forrest Whitaker was a delight as always.
He played all the parts.
He did a great job as the lighthouse.
Forrest Whitaker as an all-star female cast was really the best thing.
Yeah, Natalie Portman killed it. I liked her a lot.
Yeah.
I thought it was when they at the beginning they're like, "Oh, she was in the Navy for like 10 years or whatever." I'm like, Natalie Portman was in the Navy. I don't.
Right.
I mean, not like
Army,
she.
I thought.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. Not Navy, but
Still, I get what you're saying. Military in general.
Like, I guess that's kind of close-minded, but she just seemed so little. Even like her arms and like her that scene where she's not. You see her back. Like, he's so bony. Like,
not a lot
eat a hamburger, girl.
Eat a hamburger.
I almost want to say that Natalie Portman like was in the military.
I don't think so. She's been acting since she was 11.
The professional.
But she took kind of a break because she like went to school and shit.
To kill some Nazis.
To army school.
She went to army school.
Yeah. She learned about how to shoot guns.
Yeah, I liked all of the acting. Fucking Oscar Isaac is
I like him a
quickly
lot.
becoming like Sam Rockwell status of like favorite actors for me.
I like Sam Rockwell a lot too. I love Oscar Isaac. Yeah.
Oh fuck! You know who I was thinking of? I was thinking of Ela, fucking Ethan's wife.
Ela, of course.
Because Natalie Portman is
H3H3, one of our favorite YouTube channels.
Natalie Portman is Israeli, same as Ela.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's
I didn't know that.
Made me think of it for some reason. So I guess
You're confusing
why I
two
thought of it 'cause I
Israeli
was
women.
Racist.
You're racist.
That's why.
I like how we already try to put on a good front, Gabe, and
Sorry.
we try to be our best selves.
I derailed that bad boy.
And you're just bringing more racism into the podcast.
Welcome back to A Normal Guy and Two Races. Your host, Tanner Rollins.
And me, the normal guy. No, I think that no spoilers, but I think that
Can't think of
everyone
shit to
should
talk
go
about.
see this movie. And
Yeah.
I think it's worth it. I think it's definitely worth it to go see it in theaters for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I almost don't see it on Netflix unless, you got a good setup.
I will say, too, it's kind of a mild spoiler, but it has a controversial ending not in terms of like it being offensive, but it's a little divisive in terms of some people like it, and then some people
Yeah, I think that's fair.
it could be said that they didn't get it. It has kind of an artsy ending, so for people that aren't really into movie endings where they have to think about it for a little bit, but it's not super cryptic, I would personally say.
I will say the movie does a nice ramp up to the ending.
Yeah.
Like by the time you
Yeah.
are at the end, it's not like, oh well now it's like the whole movie is pretty fucking weird.
Yeah.
Starting at like a half hour
It's
in.
it's not like left field. I mean, it's like
It's
it's still crazy, but you're prepared for
Yeah.
it, like what you're saying.
They build up to it nicely.
But I guess my overall opinion would also,
go see
I would
it.
just agree with you. Just like, just go see it.
Great
Honestly,
movie.
it's probably I could see it being one of my favorite movies of the year.
Yeah.
Like top 5. I loved it. I loved that crazy shit. The action was
Same.
cool. There wasn't a ton of it, but when it happened, I was like, oh, cool. He's good at doing action too.
It's so like
Very tense.
it's such a nice like mystery when you're on the outside of what's happening, like what's in here, and then they actually go in and they're slowly discovering stuff too. It's like you feel like you're discovering it. I don't know.
No one
I love
is
mysteries
too
like that.
Right.
No one is given any information that you aren't given, and it's like, or makes like, because a lot of times with books, it's hard to make an adaptation that's like,
Yeah, that was adapted from a book, wasn't it?
yeah,
I want to read that shit.
yeah, that'd be fucking trippy as hell. It's hard to. I feel like with books, a lot of times they give you so much information without visuals or dialogue
Yeah.
that they just tell you stuff
That's
sometimes.
kind of the nature of books.
All right, guys, trying to make a point. Fucking like they tell you through words and like writing.
Hardcover.
Stick to picture books, guys.
So for the people that haven't seen it yet, go
They
see
did a
it.
great illustrated
Right.
classics of Annihilation.
Like, do yourself a favor. Like, it won't ruin it if you
you
listen
guys.
to the spoilers. But just go watch it,
And now for those of us that have
And for
seen
those
it,
of us that have spoilers,
real quick,
earmuffs.
2 thumbs up from me too.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
all
Tanner.
around.
Yeah, I kinda
that's a
just
3 for 3.
kind of threw fucking double part. Just fuck you.
No, I already said it was my favorite.
Shit on his review and
I
then
don't
no
know.
ask for his opinion. But yeah.
So that's a 3 for 3 from the Screwhead Boys.
Yeah.
Go see it.
That's-
We're gonna give it 3 screws up.
Everyone, get your drills ready. We're going into spoilers.
Yeah. So this is like, if you haven't seen it, pause it. Don't listen to it. I mean, you can if you really don't care, but you should care, because if you care about movies, this is a movie podcast, so I assume you do. If you care about movies, go see it, because it's a fucking great movie.
All right.
Now,
Spoilerville.
we're going into the spoiler zone.
Yep.
Put on your your backpacks.
All right. Mark the time so you can do your spoiler zone song that you made.
Oh yeah. All right. The spoiler intro song that I wrote.
All right. So fuck a duck.
There was a scene where they fucked a duck.
Actually, they fucked quite a few, like a
lot of mallards.
ducks than you think that they could get away with legally.
And they were like an amalgamation of every bird because it was in the shimmer. Very odd.
Why don't we just go through it beat by beat?
I was thinking go through it chronologically.
the
Yeah.
bird sex scenes?
So I
Very
don't really have
erotic.
anything interesting to say about the movie until they go through the shimmer. But if anyone wants to comment on the beginning of the movie,
I called that she was gonna be fucking that guy at some point.
I will say that in the beginning of the movie,
just bummed me out.
Beginning, it kind of starts, shows Natalie Portman, shows her profession.
Yeah.
And then you can see that there's kind of a connection between her and her colleague.
Well,
and
before we get too far, the lesson she was teaching was about cancer cells.
Right.
And the shimmer is basically a cancer cell on Earth.
Yeah.
And she is the personification of chemotherapy. No, just kidding.
You didn't get that vibe?
No, I totally made that connection, and I've been thinking of the movie for 2 weeks, and I totally got that reference. Yeah, that's the first thing I when I was watching the movie. She was like doing the cancer research, and I was like, "This is gonna play.
This is gonna be about."
This is a theme.
But
I really pay attention to stuff like that.
I was gonna say when she first sees Oscar Isaac in her house again.
Ooh, I love that scene. That shit was.
And he's totally weird. Like even his hair is different, and like he's clean cut. Like he's like.
Scary. I was like, is he gonna fucking?
But if you notice, and it plays in with the end of the movie, when he reaches for her hand, his hand is inverted in the reflection of the water.
Isn't that how that happens?
It's not. So basically, here's the water cup.
Yeah.
Here's his hand. Your hand should look kind of weird, but I can't remember which one it is, like if water inverts you or not, but his did the opposite
so it's like
of what happens in real life.
Yeah.
Because it's a reflection.
So it wasn't inverted.
Cancer is important to the theme of the story, but also if you pick up like
when they talk about the
light,
DNA is being refracted.
Light is very important. Light and refracting light, different things like that.
Reflections.
And he's kind of like, he's a copy. And so his
he's a refracted version of himself.
He's a refracted version of Oscar Isaac.
Is I might have missed this. Was it?
Definitely have to watch this movie again.
Yeah, and hers at the end, her thing is also fucked up.
Okay.
And then they just had to add that thing in the spoilers. That very last shot of our eyes are twinkly.
Yeah,
I fucking hated that.
A little bit unnecessary.
That was unnecessary. I agree. But
if anything, they should have.
It was a rainbow like light, which light was a big.
Right, yeah, but I didn't need that last little, literally almost a wink.
It was very on the nose.
I didn't notice, was it always daytime in the Shimmer?
No.
There was when they were up in the watchtower.
Right.
They actually spent a couple of nights.
Yeah, I literally, as I asked that, I thought of 5 scenes that was at night.
What's an interesting theory? I don't know if you want to get into theories yet, or if you want to keep just like talking points.
Let's go beat by beat.
Yeah, let's go theories afterwards, because I do have
Put a pin in it.
And it might match up with yours. But, I'll start with the first thing that I noticed while I was watching the movie. Is like, I really like how they did that. They enter the Shimmer, and then it just cuts to her waking up, and they had been in the Shimmer for like a couple of days based on their rations. I was like, I fucking love when movies do that.
Yeah.
When you don't get to see what happened because they don't remember it, you only know what the character knows.
Characters know.
And that reminds me of, what was that movie?
Edge of Tomorrow? That's what it reminded me of.
No, they probably did. I haven't seen Edge of Tomorrow.
Sorry about that.
But what's the movie like with the fucking door?
Oh yeah, the one with the door.
With the door and they
where
can't
he opens
go outside. And Joel Edgerton.
It Comes at Night.
It Comes at Night. Have you seen It Comes at Night?
No.
Okay, I won't spoil anything, but I will say that you only know like what the characters know, and it doesn't explain.
There's things that's revealed.
I like that. Yeah. Just one little blurb. I like that movie. I want to like it more.
Yeah.
But I do.
I feel like the trailer was too misleading.
It could have been better.
But we don't have to get on that. But
I think the trailer was too good. I haven't seen the movie, but the trailer was dope as fuck.
Yeah,
and that's the problem with
the trailer because you're already spoiled because it's.
Oh.
But the movie.
I don't remember much. I just remember that dog barking at like a tree.
But when movies do stuff like that, where it's like. You're in the dark with some stuff because the characters are. I find that really compelling.
That's like with throughout what I was talking about with Edge of Tomorrow, and this isn't really a spoiler. When he, how he goes through the loop.
Yeah.
He kills him or he dies and he goes through the loop. There's a point in the movie where it switches perspectives, and you're Emily Blunt's perspective, and then he's like asking questions. She's like, "Oh, this is how many times have you done this?" And he's like. 300 times. It's like a Groundhog Day type deal.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, whoa. So that's it's not the same thing, but it's.
That movie was kind of neat.
Didn't they rename it to Live Die?
I wouldn't say it was. I thought I liked it a lot actually.
Yeah.
thought it was entertaining.
It's not. I'm not trying to shit on it. I can see why people really like it, but for me personally, I was like, oh, it's not bad. It's better than I thought it was because I thought it was gonna be garbage.
Yeah,
They changed the name, right?
like in a comparison
They
to
were
Citizen
starting to
Kane.
market it as Live Die Repeat, yeah, which I think is very dumb. You know, stick to whatever.
This movie's
Even if you
already
didn't
out.
like the name, just stick to it.
Edge of Tomorrow is a cool name.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really liked that when they entered in. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, a lot of the Shimmer stuff was really cool, and I liked.
They don't
how
really go back to that though.
No, they don't really continue that.
There's
I mean,
a-
other
Literally,
than the
they
fact that-
remember everything.
Yeah,
I have a theory about that I was going to bring up
Oh, okay.
that I read on Reddit. Unfortunately,
dude,
It's
that's
not-
why I didn't go to the Reddit thread because I was like,
You read it on Reddit, Lamau?
I want it to just be
I shouldn't have.
homebrewed.
But yeah, that's one of the first things I like to do when I see.
I have a
sci-fi
theory.
movies.
I read it on Reddit.
It's a guy's theory. I meant to say I have a theory I want to tell you about.
Okay.
It's not my theory.
Oh, okay. So what?
Should now?
Well, I mean, if it matches
it
up.
has to do at the
Basically,
beginning.
what this guy said was like, he was saying, what if the people that we saw when they wake up, they're all copies.
Mm-hmm.
Like the original crew, something happened to them. You know, maybe they got
That's why they
killed
don't
by
remember.
something, but that's why they don't remember. It's because they're all.
That
copies.
seems really feasible to
And
me.
That's like he's saying we're following copies the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds right because it's the same person that leaves, I feel like, and she's obviously, I don't know if she's necessarily a copy, but she's obviously like infected or she's changed.
But the way I see it, and I didn't read this anywhere, the way that I took it is that she's not a copy, but when you're in the Shimmer, since it's all like they have this thing about light, it's like these light particles. It's like everybody's blending together, you know, because they're all in this spot where it's like basically this big fucking molding. Like a melting pot, so your DNA is just getting fucked with everybody else's, and so to me, I saw it as not that she was a copy, but that she had some of her crew's DNA implanted on her. Which another thing that kind of backs that up is with Oscar Isaac at the end.
Yeah.
When he's about to kill himself, he has a
Wait,
southern
what?
accent, which he didn't have
with the grenade.
when he has a grenade, when he has he has a southern accent, no southern accent in the beginning.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, so he was also
Did
getting.
he not have a southern accent at the
No.
beginning? I felt like
he was also
did.
getting parts of his crew imprinted onto him.
Oh, wow.
And the whole fucking tattoo deal. She didn't have a tattoo when she went in.
Right.
What? No, yes, she did.
Nope, she didn't.
Huh.
The lesbian girl was the one with the tattoo, but since everything's getting mixed together, she got her tattoo.
She has a tattoo?
I really need to rewatch that
Yeah, I need
movie, dude.
I thought I remembered seeing it in the flashback when she's being cheating on Oscar Isaac.
She has it when she's in, when she's talking to a fucking.
Okay.
And you can actually see, it's like one of the nights where they wake up. She has a tattoo, and she doesn't even notice it.
Lamau.
Hmm.
I like how they
I didn't notice that.
they say that things get like more buck wild the closer they get to the lighthouse.
To the
and
source.
It does. Like as the movie goes on, stuff gets crazier.
Uh-huh.
I really liked like all of the set design, like the
Me too. I was
mushrooms.
just
It
about
reminded
to
me
say
kind of
that.
like of The Last of Us.
Totally Last of Us.
So
yeah.
much of that shit was so.
The fungus.
Another thing too is that guy. Somebody pointed out on Reddit. I didn't notice it. That guy that they cut open.
My other theory.
Yeah.
Right. My other patented theory. When he was all mutated, he had that tattoo on his arm too.
What?
What?
And that tattoo is of Ouroboros,
Ooh, the worm.
Huh.
the snake that devoured itself, because it's kind of like a repeating.
And he had a big worm in his tummy.
Is it a big worm or a fucking ton of worms?
That was that was my first what the fuck moment when that movie
Yeah.
got buck wild.
When
When
he's,
there's
like,
a video,
fucking
I was
pointing
like,
at
oh, what's
the-
happening? And he starts cutting up his stomach. I was like,
What's the
what
craziest
the
part?
fuck is happening?
What I thought was crazy was he's cutting halfway through, and the guy's like, "Okay, wait.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead." And
Yeah.
he's like, "Dude, not only did he agree to this, but he's tried to stop it." And he's like, "Okay, do it again." It's like he agreed to it twice.
That scene is hard to watch. And then he
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac looks at the camera. He's like, yeah, see?
Yep,
You
he's like,
see?
"See, this
I was
is
like,
shit we're talking
I
about."
don't know what I'm seeing, Oscar. That movie's
He's such a good actor.
So
Oscar
who
Isaac's
left?
the shit?
So that group left the SD card.
yes.
Oscar Isaac's
Or
group,
anyone else who was coming along.
because he had a camera the whole time, and so he must have.
and then he had
He must
another
have
SD
swapped-
card
Yeah, he must have brought a couple of SD cards.
or a couple cameras because they. Oh no, they watch it
they
on their
watched it
camera.
on their camera. They found the card.
Huh,
I didn't
fuck,
like how
dude.
they
I
were,
need
like,
to see it again.
talking about the chick with the glasses, with the curly hair, the girl who's
Oh, yeah.
supposedly it's like
Chick
she's
was
been
in
filming the whole
Thor.
time. I didn't see her like filming a lot in the beginning of the movie. Like when they mentioned, she's like, "Oh, I'll put this SD card in my camera." I was like, "You have a camera?" Like I didn't even see you film or take pictures of anything.
Yeah.
No, it was the crocodile. I think they filmed the crocodile.
Oh,
Dead-
right.
Which I thought was dope as fuck.
Yeah.
When she gets that
When
whole
she gets in
scene,
her
I
army
loved.
Stance and she fucking, they're like, "Oh, where do you weapon training?" When Natalie Portman actually just fucking.
Oh,
blasts
yeah.
The thing. Yeah.
Or when she get, I was thinking when she gets pulled through the doorway, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck!" And then
Yeah.
I don't know, all of
stuff,
it.
water stuff. When there's something below the water, you don't know what it is. That shit freaks me out.
What is that
dude.
called? There's some like
Thalassophobia.
thalassophobia. No, that's
That's like the
a
fear
giant
of, like open water.
Leviathan.
Oof.
Leviathan's underwater.
Really? Oh, maybe.
I don't know. I think you're
Leviathophobia.
right.
I love that shit.
Let me guess what the second one was.
Yeah, there's
the,
3.
The fucking screaming man bear pig.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, dude.
That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a movie.
That was that's what I mean
It
with the
was
fucking
terrifying.
CGI.
It
That
was
shit looked
honestly-
so much better
it
than
was
anything.
honestly
It did.
unsettling, and I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm pretty hard to spook now, you know. And it's like
You almost feel like you're desensitized to stuff like that.
until you
It was
see
the
something-
scream.
I think because it felt so much like something you'd see out of a nightmare. It's like
Yeah.
it was so.
And when he
Oh,
rips her
it's-
jaw off and her tongue is just, I was like, fuck
Yeah.
yeah, they're going there. I love that shit. And when she's blowing his fucking brains out.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I love about the action. I'm like, fuck
Yeah.
yeah, it felt meaty and
It was
punchy.
cool because I remember when I watched it. I watched it with my girlfriend, and we were both like, "Why did the bear only eat?"
How did she
her
like it?
throat? She liked it. The ending was like, she's like, "What did I just watch?" Like the movie is like, if you
Yeah,
process it
yeah.
right at the end, it's like, "What did I watch?" But
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh wait,
I
what
was
did
at
she
the
say
edge of my
about the
seat.
throat? Sorry.
We were both like, the bear only, like, because when the bear originally takes the crew member, I don't remember her name, but when Natalie Portman finds her body, the only thing injured on her
Vocal cords.
was that her throat was ripped out.
That-
And
but
I was
that's
like,
kind of
why
like
would the
Jeepers
bear-
Creepers.
I was like, why would the bear only eat the throat? I was like, you know.
And he's gonna eat the eyes, and he can see.
We talk about you brought up them taking on different parts of their crew members.
Yeah.
If you look at this is not something I've done obviously, but I'm wondering if you look at because I assume that's the same thing that attacked them the first time when they have like night vision goggles on.
Yes.
when they
Oh,
breaks
what
the
was
gate.
missing on the other chick that he killed?
Or if there's just a major difference from the first time you see him to the last time you see him, if he looks a lot like deformed, because I don't remember what he looks like because you see him so quickly.
No, yeah, you can see that he's big.
Yeah.
But you can see that the top.
We're
of his
really gonna
skull
start
is missing.
assuming his gender. is Jim's gender? No, but what when she finds the other body in the woods?
Mm-hmm.
Is she missing something? Like, wasn't her like guts? What was?
What other body? The first body, the first person that was killed.
Yeah,
Her throat's the only thing that was wounded.
I thought the like the badass like Latina chick. I thought her jaw and
Her
throat.
like whole fucking shit went.
She got wrecked.
Oh, I
She
thought
got-
that's who you were talking about.
No.
Straight
Oh,
wrecked.
right, because she starts.
When
you
Natalie
hear the
Portman-
screaming noise before he kills her. Okay.
Because that's how you figure out. Because they're like, oh shit, that's so and so's voice, and then she
Shit's
runs
so
out
crazy.
and gets.
Oh right. You're right. Oh fuck,
But
that
when
was
the-
so
when
fucking
the bear-
creepy.
Yeah, because and when I first heard her scream, I was like, that's a decoy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know what it is, but that's some kind of trap.
Well, I mean, we already
And
see
then-
she's dead.
Yeah, because we know she's dead. But then
Yeah.
when the bear comes in, and then you're like, oh fuck, can it imitate? See, because like when the bear comes in, I'm like, the bear can imitate her voice, right?
Right.
No, but it's like even when you know that and you hear the bear kind of doing it, like when the bear like slightly opens his mouth, and you're just like, you know,
Yeah,
and
it
you're
doesn't
like,
sound like they're
"Ugh."
just replaying the voice audio. It
It's like
reminds me
scrambled.
of I
Yeah.
saw a video of a dead lion and they were putting air
Right.
through like its lungs to make it roar when it was dead, and
Whoa.
it worked, but it doesn't sound right. Like it sounds fucked.
Whoa.
That's what that kind of reminds me of.
Yeah.
like they're putting air through the lungs to make a certain sound, but it's not actually a person.
You know what I was kind of disappointed
Jesus
with
Christ.
is that we find out that Jennifer Jason Leigh's character has cancer. I was disappointed that they didn't. I feel like they didn't play on that very much. Like in a world where your genes can kind of get imparted due to because it being like a fucking melting pot. I was thinking like, is there going to be a character that gets cancer? Is she going to give cancer to the environment? You know, because I was like, I thought that it would have been really interesting, but I guess it would have been kind of fucking.
Yeah, and cancer's like it's not. They could have all gotten cancer, but
but the whole thing's like
probably
a fucking,
did.
The whole thing's like a metaphor for
That's
cancer.
a slow
you know?
killer.
Like the whole thing is fucking like.
That
like
brings me to my
cancer.
biggest question with the movie is what the point of her story is. Is it dealing with loss? Is it dealing with infidelity and shame and guilt? Is it
I think
dealing
that's
with
the whole reason
cancer?
she went in. I think the whole reason she went in because she's like, I have to go in. I owe it to him. I think the whole reason she went in is because she felt guilty for cheating on him, and he knew.
That was such a bummer.
did.
Anytime
He
there's
did
like a good couple in a movie and then one of them
One of
cheats,
them's in the
I'm just
army.
like,
You're
oh.
like, well, GG. Army
Well, I think that was
relationships.
after he died, right?
I don't think so.
Did she
I
cheat
think,
on him?
No, I
No.
think it was a flashback because it was one of the
Yeah.
times.
Oh, right.
he
She
was
says
away.
he knows.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was one
I
of the
fucking
times he
hate
was
that
away
shit.
for a long period of time.
That bums
And you
me
can
out.
tell when he's saying goodbye the last time, it's very cold.
Yeah,
like
he's
very, like he's
pissed.
fucking.
That's when you
I don't
went
think that
pee,
he's
so you
pissed.
didn't
I
see
think
that
that he's
scene.
devastated.
But it's when he's going on his last mission. He's just super like cold.
I thought-
and she's like,
I saw
"Are you
it-
leaving?" He's like, "Yeah, I need to go."
And that was one of the flashback scenes.
Yeah.
God damn
I
it.
saw
Well,
that he was
just
really
looks-
sad. I saw.
Well, there's a
I
lot
mean,
of
I'm sure he's
emotions
mad,
that
but
are in there,
I
yeah.
think that he was like kind of because he probably knows that it's not. You know, it's like we're done. But I'm sure that he was in love with her. It looked like they were in love.
was there a reason why they didn't have a kid? Like
Oh, I don't know. Probably just.
young,
And at
not-
the end,
new
after
relationship.
you see her colorful eyes, she's like, "Wait, I'm pregnant," and then looks right into the camera and just Annihilation 2.
And it's a flower. person.
Annihilated. Here we go again.
Yeah, I feel like here I go again.
It's just her.
There's
and the
another shimmer.
Annihilation 2 shimmers.
Starring Pauly Shore. The Shimmer. Hey, bud.
Dude, is there a sadder story than Pauly Shore? The fuck was that?
I was playing with the hair clip.
Oh.
Yeah, Pauly Shore's fucked. Yeah, I loved one of my biggest. And this, you know, I mean, theories aren't right or wrong, but you know, my theory isn't necessarily like super correct. But I felt like there might have been some, a little bit of hinting at like this a meteorite that comes down
Right.
that affects this, and it's spreading. Are they trying to say like maybe the
Cloverfield
meteorite?
Annihilation?
Well, the meteorite that wiped out the dinosaurs and basically created like new life, destroyed an entire like species, and that's when life kind of restarted
Oh.
and then started, you know, changing. I don't know. I thought
That's an
maybe that
interesting
there
way
might
of
have been some
thinking about it.
correlation between that, like another meteor that brings
Huh.
foreign life. But
But we also haven't. I mean, it's not like we all fucking mixed together. I guess in a way you could look at it like that. But the reason. Oh, I forgot why light.
I think
why-
it was an alien.
the point. Yeah,
I'm
it was
not
some
really
sort
sure.
of
I
being,
thought it
yeah.
was an alien.
well, it definitely was alien by definition because it came from like space.
Right.
It wasn't intelligent, but it was an alien.
Well, can we know that it wasn't intelligent?
Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
I mean, it was kind of like mimicking her, like it was just
Yeah,
learning.
I saw it as
you're
more
seeing-
like an insect or an animal that goes off of instincts.
I thought of
not-
it as a
not
parasite.
or a parasite. The way, or maybe a cell. But,
Dragon Ball Z.
Fucking. No, because she studies cells.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought you were saying. Not the Dragon Ball Z character.
I was gonna say that one of the points I was reaching with light was that they were saying that it was growing, and light plays such an important part. And I think that the pivotal spot, Ground Zero was a lighthouse, shining light everywhere,
a literal
And
beacon.
I saw it as light. That's what's spreading everything around because it's going through light. It's refracting. She even uses the words like it's refracting.
Yeah.
Because it's the same but different.
Any big thoughts on the end? I loved that they included the music from the trailer finally, and how the entire movie. You know how, the trailer, the or whatever.
Yeah, that fucking
That shit
got
fucked me
loud.
up. Yeah.
The fucking speakers in the theater were crackling. I was like, we can't.
I loved how.
Oh fuck!
I love how the entire soundtrack vamps up to the end, just like the weirdness.
Yeah.
The final alien creature I thought was dope as fuck. I love that whole like weird not gooey, but like
there's a word for it that they talked about online, but I can't remember. There's like a mathematical word like
For what?
polyamorous. I knew that alien was poly and bi.
Not polynomial, because polynomial is like multiple numbers or whatever, but it was like poly something. Just basically like it's just this shape that's like you it's like a Cthulhu idea where it's like it's a very abstract shape.
Like the shape of he was just a body though.
It was just like an amorphous.
Oh, you're talking about the black hole thing?
Before it takes in Natalie Portman's DNA, there's a name for like the fucking weird,
the thing
like,
that is collapsing in on itself and rotating.
Yeah.
It's like the four-dimensional sphere or some shit like that. Yeah. That was fucking dope, dude.
Polygon-esque character. That's like the Smash Bros. When you have to fight all the polygons.
All
It's
right,
a good
that
Smash
was our
64 reference.
Welcome to the Smash Cast.
Yeah, no, that whole
you guys
scene
see,
was crazy.
Squid.
Yeah, that was the hardest part for me. You know, it's like watching and you're like fucking gone.
It's hard
because it's hard to process because fucking Jennifer Jason Leigh's down there and her eyes are fucking
that
like,
part fucked me
over.
up. Yeah, that was scary.
And you don't know what's going on with her. Like maybe it rejected her because she had cancer or something.
That didn't freak me out that much. And I think it was because it was Jennifer Jason Leigh and the whole setting of that. Another thing I didn't like was the setting of the little hole. It looked like a fucking Halo flood level or something, or like an arbiter.
It felt like the interior, like a spaceship.
Yeah,
but like not that cool of a spaceship. I don't know. That was a little.
I feel like it would be. Sorry,
it just reminded me of Halo.
I feel like it would have been cooler to see more mutations, you know, like with the beach, with the crystal trees and stuff like that, and the people, the silhouettes. I thought it would have been more cool too.
I fucking loved it.
And I liked when she shot it. It like made those caught the bullets. And, like, made those weird tendril things. Anyway, I'm fucking just picked.
So this is what violence is.
Creates a nuke with its pinky.
First contact with alien life. Lights it up with an M16. That's how we do it in America, dude.
Yeah, dude. Welcome to Earth.
Welcome to Earth.
So, biggest complaints with the movie? Mine was the ending, the final shot of. They could have ended it so much more ambiguous and cooler.
I think I had that complaint
instead,
too.
it was just. Oh.
That's probably my biggest complaint, but that's not like a big complaint to have. Like, I've heard people complain about the ending, and I can see what they're coming from.
Like the last shot or like the last 10 minutes?
Some people didn't like it because they felt like it was confusing, which is like, I mean, I can understand being confused, but it's, you know, there are things that happen in the universe that we don't understand.
Yeah.
You know, that's just
it wasn't like it was complex.
This is also a series of novels, by the way.
Oh.
So it's not like in the books, it doesn't end there.
Right.
So we could see a potentially sequel.
I want to read that.
But yeah, but it could also just be used to introduce the world. But I don't think it necessarily needs a sequel in terms of movie, because it's just like movies can have an ambiguous ending and still be good, I think.
Yeah, but they didn't leave it ambiguous enough for me.
Yeah, it was not as ambiguous as
that big. I hate that shot of because I saw it coming. It should have ended with her, with like the glass of water and maybe like a tiny bit of blood, just like.
Or if they would have done the shit, because you pointed out that I didn't even notice that his hand is reflected wrong in the reflection of the water. If they would have just done the exact same thing with her hand and left it at that.
But like when he's drinking the water and it leaves a little blood.
Yeah.
I guess that would have been even less ambiguous. I don't know. That's just I hated that last shot.
My girlfriend was actually the one to point that out.
She noticed that? Yep. I didn't fucking notice that at all. Like I didn't.
I'm still confused on that. Like water refracts your hand anyway.
Which way it is, but it refracts wrong for them.
Yeah. So what you're saying is if we're seeing his reflection, we'd see the back of his hand in the water glass because. That's what's going past the glass.
So you see his palm?
You see the palm? That's what you're explaining, right? Or are you talking about like the actual direction it warps?
Yeah, the direction is warped. So like say you're looking like this is a glass of water, and if I go like this, usual water, everything goes like this. or
It'll
whatever,
warp
But
around.
like his is just like normal.
But her
Because
hand.
hers- they were both of them. Their shit was the opposite of what it should have been, from what I remember. Not like you could see the
So
palm.
warped
That's-
the wrong way.
Yeah,
I didn't.
the
I
wrong
don't.
direction.
I have to rewatch it. I don't know if because I didn't think anything was weird about that. I thought that was just like
I'm not a
an
geometry
idea,
major.
like the refracting of. I thought that was like a smaller version of what the shimmer does to your DNA cells. I didn't think that
Which
that was wrong.
is true. But
Yeah,
I'm
but I
pretty
don't-
sure that
yeah.
they had a fucked up refraction since they are refracted. Like, because Oscar Isaac is a clone, and Natalie Portman is not a clone, but she's not who she was when she went in.
Yeah, and I don't know that. I think the initial reaction is like, oh no, like it survived. They're loose in the world, but it's like I don't think those scientists and FBI or
Are letting
army
them
people are
leave.
gonna let them leave. There's no way
Yeah.
they're gonna not do an evaluation, notice that their eyes are funky. They're probably gonna fucking put a bullet in their heads.
You always
Yeah.
had rainbow irises. Yeah, and it's like the shimmer was destroyed, so I don't. Even if they did escape, what
Yeah,
like, they,
literally wearing biohazard suits around them. All right, you're free to go.
Yes. Go back into the general
Go hug your
population.
children.
do you want to get pizza, Natalie Portman? Okay.
What is
What are they gonna do?
My pizza?
Was that pizza the whole time?
I remember being pizza, but I also don't.
No, I
If
like
you look
it
at
a
the
lot.
credits, his name is actually Papa Murphy. so. All right. Any final closing thoughts?
I think just
Two hogs
I'm glad
out?
that movies are still you know, I mean it may be an adaptation from a book, but I like movies that aren't afraid to be fucking weird.
Yeah.
Felt super original.
They're original, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of my complaint about the Marvel movie, what I was giving them grief for is it's nice to see something that's not a formula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to see
yeah.
something that you're not predicting the whole
Yeah,
time. Like,
yeah.
oh, I know what's about to happen. I know
For
what's about
sure.
to happen.
It's good.
Because I mean, you may be able to predict something, but if you watch this movie with somebody and they go, "Oh, this is about to fucking happen," either they read the book and they're lying to you, or they're fucking weird. They're part of the shimmer themselves.
Right.
This
the
is
only way to
definitely
do
going to
it.
be a movie I'm going to come back to later on in life and rewatch with people that haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And I'll probably notice new things when I do rewatch it, but I just want to see people's reaction to
Yeah, it's
different
not.
scenes.
I don't think it's a movie that you watch one time and you're like, "Yeah, I'm good." Like we were
Yeah.
talking about The Revenant a little bit ago, which I loved, but would I still like? Is it the same experience rewatching it, or is it kind of one of those movies where it's like, I don't need to rewatch
This
it?
You
is a
don't.
movie.
Yeah, it's a slug.
Yeah.
Anything that isn't the bear attack or
I'm glad that it's
just fucking him crawling through mud. It's like, whoa, this is 5 minutes.
It's funny you said the bear attack, and I was like, I couldn't tell which movie you were
Oh.
talking about. I was like, oh.
God damn, that scene was so fucking.
That bear attack, that whole bear scene was just so. I felt
In both
I was
movies.
excited, watching it because I was like, I'm glad, we're still doing cool shit with
Yeah.
movies, and that's even unfair for me to say because it's not like we live in this apocalyptic movie
Yeah.
era where movies aren't good anymore.
It's just become
that
corporate.
There's a
Yeah.
lot.
It's
Most
an
of
industry.
the time, what dominates the box office are the movies that are formulas,
Yeah.
or like movies that are just
And this movie's not doing good.
safe. They're safe. They're
We should-
familiar.
I agree. And sorry, I just I don't want to get into that too much because I feel like we could talk
That's a
about
whole
that for
nother
fucking hours. But
conversation, yeah.
I just wanted the last thing I want to touch on is I think it's really interesting what they're doing with the movie and with Netflix, how it's now available on Netflix.
Already?
And yeah, and
America? It's not. I don't think it's
the
U.S. or
comment-
Canada.
I just saw the comment that it's available on Netflix now, so I don't know if.
I know it
is
is
on American
overseas.
Netflix, but I think that's wild that we're Netflix is I mean I'm not saying it's
revolutionary.
becoming a big thing because it's already a pretty fucking big thing, but it's times are changing with movies, and I think for the better, and it's really interesting what they're doing with Netflix, but I'm excited for the future of cinema.
Yep. All right. That's our show, guys.
Thank you. For
I
listening.
agree with that, Evan. Before I just totally move on, I agree with everything you just said. Thanks for listening. This is episode 1 of the psychedelic goofy booze. What do we call it?
That's the name. The Primitive Screwheads.
Primitive Screwheads.
I think
Fuck.
psychedelic goofy booze is even better.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.